Preparation is key to a successful job interview. There was a time when I was interviewing a candidate. She said as she walks into the room, "How long would this interview last?" "I'm making a taxi wait outside." I told her this interview was over. Because she didn't reserve time for us, we don't have time for her. So this experience shows lack of preparation. Job interview is more than just showing up and answering interviewers' questions and hoping that you did a good job or not. The fact that you invited to the interview means the interviewer have seen something that they like in your resume, and through an interview they are trying to confirm their feelings and thoughts. As an head of HR department, I get to interview various candidates. Repeatedly, I see lack of preparation by the candidates. From the way the resumes are written, candidates reactions to commonly asked questions, and from the competencies were exposed during the interview, tell me how well the candidates are prepared for the interview. There are certain things and ways the candidates must prepare themselves to show that they are the ones who best fit the position. Because interviewers use certain techniques to identify the type of person who fit their culture and the position, candidates must revise their resumes and prepare for the interviews accordingly. Let's start with general phases involved in the job interview that the candidates should follow and prepare for. First, we have to understand that the job interview starts well before sitting down with the interviewer. Preparation is the first and vital part of the successful job interview. Candidates must conduct an honest self-evaluations. This will include education, job and life experience, accomplishments, skills and capabilities, extracurricular participations, hobbies and talents, personal principles and values. We need to come up with specific qualities in each one of these areas. Candidates also must prepare personalized resumes. Most of them submit standardized style resumes. They also need to fill out the company-specific applications truthfully and fully. Resumes must be developed in certain ways for interviewers to look at and online systems to filter. The interviewers spend 1 or 2 minutes on each resumes, and online systems filter certain words in order to shortlist candidates. Candidates need to dress for the role, not for the interview, as it shows during the interview. They should spend significant time to study the role of the position and the team and direct supervisors to see if this job is really something that the candidates can invest their time and effort. Prepare for questions and assessments during the actual interview. When learning about the company, a typical candidate goes to the company website and gets the basic history of the company. Instead, they should be researching companies' accomplishments, culture, and plans and targets. Find someone to talk to who work or who they know who work there. and read reviews of and about the company. Pay attention to what the customers and employers and outsiders are commenting about to the online posts. These will give the candidate great information about the company. Per the careersworkpolicy.com advises certain things that should be prepared for the day of the interview. Arrive on time. Surprisingly, a lot of candidates come late to the interview. Prior to the interview, they should find out how long it would take to get to the interview location. Spend some time day before and drive to the location and get a feel of how long it would take and feel of the traffic as well. Don't come too early, just come 5 minutes early. Bring something to write with and extra copies of resumes just in case. Take notes at the interview as the interviewers tell the candidates about the company and work. Prepare your questions from your notes. Preparations equip candidates with knowledge about the company, which gives them much needed confidence during the interview. Since we know that kind of preparation is required prior to the interview, let us review how to prepare and successfully pass the interview. Zig Ziglar said, "Success occurs when opportunity meets preparation." As candidates prepare, it is important for them to align their knowledge and skills to that of the position in order to become someone the interviewers are looking for. Read the job description carefully and align your self-evaluation qualities with the requirements listed in the job description. Also, ensure that resume information and work experiences match the requirements of the job and the position. Confirm that the company had received your resumes also. Practice being interviewed. Ask someone to interview you. Or if you can't find someone, just sit in front of the mirror and record your interview, being interviewed, and replay your recording to find ways to improve. There are common questions that need to be answered and asked in certain ways, which is critical to a successful interview. Tell us about yourself. Why should we hire you? Tell us about a conflict you faced at work and how you dealt with it. Are some of the most commonly asked questions according to the muse.com. For example, a good way to answer the question, "Tell us about yourself," is to tell them about you in a past, present, and future structure, instead of telling them what is on your resume, which the interviewer already know. So what you have done in the past, what you have learned in the past that helped you be successful in the present. And these all success and accomplishments can help you in the future positions that you are being interviewed, is the good way to tell the interviewer about yourself. There are no right or wrong answers to some of the questions. The interviewers are just curious about how you would react. Smile, and while quickly think of ways to answer the questions. And just answer with confidence and courage. It is important to stay positive and stick to aligning yourself and your qualities to someone whom the interviewers are looking for. When chances come, ask the interviewers meaningful questions that they think about the job and personal development, performance targets, culture, and etc. For example, a question: compared to your previous company, how different is this one? Will give you the information about the organization's culture and atmosphere. Understand that each interviewer or the company is different. Research how the company does their interviews. Also, modify your tactic depending on interviewer's level of position. For example, if a supervisor interviews you, try to answer him in detailed way. The daily tasks, how the daily tasks are done. If the manager interviews you, talk about general targets, visions, and results. The managers usually don't care about daily tasks. Interviewers use star technique to identify real stars over false actors. Interviewers ask specific case and the way the situation is handled. They will go back to the certain question or situations and ask you to tell them again how you handled the certain situations to verify if your story match with your previous questions. Prepare specific cases and experiences in response to commonly asked questions. Remember the job description requirements and prepare specific stories relate to each requirement. Who, when, where, how, and why. It is important to try to become someone the interviewer is looking for through preparation. Now we know the type of requirements and preparations needed to successfully pass the job interview. At last, going through a job interview should be as important as the job itself that candidates are seeking. Because we don't go through job interviews often, we lack experiences. Therefore, it is important to properly and adequately prepare for the interview and try to become someone whom the interviewers are looking for. Remember Doctrine and Covenants 38:30. If ye are prepared, ye shall not fear. Therefore, update your resumes. Follow these steps as you prepare for an interview and have a pretend interview practice. I assure you will get the job of your dreams. Thank you.